or last 5 years, if they are, whatever they requested, this many IT returns, this much of IT returns, this many years of IT returns. Upon that, they'll see the stability of the financial. Means they look about the turnover. And even we need to submit all our documents with respect to the ITR, right? So from that, they'll understand, yes, if I give this project to this guy, yes, this guy will be there throughout. If suppose we are not stable in that particular financial part, we are not going to be awarded. The reason is they can't trust us. After finishing the project, if I lay off my company, what about my project during a maintenance phase? Am I right? So this is what is going to happen here. So once those companies who clear these 2 rounds, now they will be moved to, they will be ready for what? Award of the project. Means I can award this project to the people who clear this. So once, if that by the time I may get 3 to 5 companies in my hands. So when the 3 to 5 people are available, this organization available, what I can do? I can negotiate, right? Because I can give to any one of these. All these 5 guys or 3 guys are clear all those first 2 verifications. So now then what I will do is I'll go for a negotiation. What I negotiate I'm going to do in terms of I'm going to negotiate. I'm going to negotiate in terms of time. Means when I'm going to do it, how much time I need. Why can't you do this? Or in terms of price per hour man rate, if I'm talking about, can you reduce that? Or in terms of the other benefits, any benefits you're going to give. Okay, like this, I can negotiate, depends upon the inputs. And finally, the past, they may look into our past clients. They may have a direct feedback about the past clients' feedback. So we need to provide that. So like this, they're going to do all this part. And finally, what if upon the satisfaction, we are going to be awarded the SOW. Means the SOW will be released here. The SOW will be released here. So what is the SOW? What do you mean SOW?
Statement of work.
Statement of work.
Okay. So once a statement of work is released to the company, whichever the IT company, that company is going to work on this project. Are you clear, all of you?
Sir,
Yes,
sir, one thing, like, as you said, like there will be a negotiation for the price also. So, see, bidding will be fixed. Like, for example, if any person is coming for the 75 crores, and if the bidding is fixed, then that particular price will be freezed. So,
No. Later on, we can go.
Oh,
Reverse, we can go because that is there. They already put the clause in the one of the point in RFQ.
okay, sir.
Okay. See,
Got
they awarded the 75, right? But still they'll try to negotiate. And another guy is in 76.
Got it.
So in case
So
of
then,
if the price goes up and they are not satisfied, they can go back to the next bidder, right?
yes, they can. If he is not convincing, because all 5 are equally compete, right?
Yes.
Then I can go with it. That choice is mine. These precautions they're going to take in the RFQ. They'll put a clear clause. The decision is final to the one who is the buyer, right?
Yes, sir.
Decision is the buyer pointer. So they clearly mentioned that.
So it is like, sir, like whatever the price is going to be decided here, after the this project is getting started, they may be request for some changes. So according to those changes, again the price can be go up and down.
That is based on the change request.
Okay.
Okay, that is different. Okay, so those things are all going to be addressed in the service level agreement. So as per the SOW, this is what the price is. If any additional change requests are mentioned, this is how it's going to be. Clear?
Sir, one small doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Here in the RFQ, he said that there will be some expected budget from the client side. The client will be fixing that 100 crores, right? If anyone is
that is the maximum bidding.
Achha, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So we'll go to the next one.
Srizan,
for work order for the IT company.
can you explain one second the example of SOW, because the interruption
See, statement of work, a statement of work means if in a particular project, whatever they define, there are 6 modules are there. Assume it. There are 6 modules. Say, for example, if you take the same example, one is an admin module, other one may be a farmer module, other one may be a sale module, other one may be a payment module, other one may be a reports like that, right? So all these are detailedly present what they want in the means of an SOW. Got it?
Yes, yes, got it. One more question. SOW, further you will explain the SOW, the 6 points, what you have put.
No, we will come in the last.
Okay.
Just a RFP adjustment. Are it clear, all of you?
So the budget will also be
Yes,
budget will
sir.
also include the maintenance cost.
Yeah, if required. See, in some projects, what they will do is this is the project cost, and they'll also ask us to give the maintenance for next 5 years or next 3 years. That again subject to final decision of the board after your project is awarded. So what that is not going to take into consideration in awarding the project, but they will ask the value of it also. So generally the maintenance is based on the total project cost. Maybe it's something around, it depends upon 10 to 15% of the maintenance cost, not more than that. Okay,
Hello?
so what, yeah, this.
Yes, sir, it means SOA is how we are going to start, how we are going to continue the process, and how we are going to end. Is
Yes,
it right?
that means total
Okay.
addressing the project.
Yes, and between this, if there is any change or if there
That is additional.
if the requirement of client changes, then the BA will come.
Yes, correct. No. BA will be, don't bring BA now into picture. Try to
Okay.
understand the concept of project, how the project get initiated.
Oh.
Again, don't get confused, right? Just stick on to the concepts on.
Yes, yes. So it's like that if government wants to conduct an exam, for that he releases the notification. Similarly,
Correct.
SOA is like that.
Yes, correct. Okay. So yeah, take a snapshot of this. It is there in your book, in your material, I think.
Sridhar, at the time of bidding, this technical bidding and financial bidding, both are taking place?
Both are?
Both are taking place at the time of bidding?
Both are going taken care by the client team only.
No. At the time of bidding, this technical part as well as the financial part, both are taken care at the same time?
Yes. Why? Because it's all mentioned in the RFQ.
Okay.
See, in RFQ, they mention what technology they need, what skill set they need, right? Similarly, they mention the IT returns. How many, what is the minimum requirement that the particular company should have? Similarly, some companies will clearly mention we should have minimum 3 crore turnover. That means you're filtering there itself. Any company is not having a 3 crore turnover continuous for the consistent 3 years. Can they bid?
No.
So like that, everything will be defined in the RFQ.
Can you give one of the example for technical also?
Technical means they may be asking, you need to have a skill set of, you need to have a, for example, 5 years of experience in Android technology. Means I should have my project experience in 5 years, last 5 years, I should be in a Android technology.
Okay.
Like that.
Sir,
and I need to have a skill set of DevOps. Your particular client. Yes, tell me.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. But in case of a request for information where they need to mention that what kind of a technology they are opting it for.
Yeah.
But the thing is that will that consist means definitely consist this kind of a requirement that this kind of a technology is required in this case.
Here in RFI, they recommend.
They would recommend.
They recommend this could be a technology, but that will be finalized in pre-bid meeting.
Okay, because you said in this case, that there would be any kind of a company involved, or they may take a help of a company which would be helping them to prepare for a request for information.
Correct.
Or they may take a help of any sort of a layman also. It is their wish. And if they somehow miss that what kind of a technology they need to have in this case, how a pre-bidding would take place in this case?
No, in the pre-bid meeting, why the pre-bid meeting will be initialized is, Some companies will directly go for RFQ without pre-bid meeting because when they are very confident about. But if I want to know that what exactly the IT companies needed, I will call for a pre-bid meeting. In the pre-bid meeting, what knowledge I have in the means of RFP and RFI, I'll present.
Okay.
Okay. Then they will definitely ask that because they are the implementers, right?
Yes.
So then we'll take it those points also into consideration.
Okay, but there might be some kind of an opinion differences when it comes to an RFI and a company who is going to execute that kind of a project.
Yes.
They may come up with any better solutions. So
yes, they
will
may
that
come up.
can be a part of a that can be a part of a negotiations
See,
in
for
this case.
example, let me take you another example. For example, there is a defense sector is there, right? They want to have a surveillance system throughout their defense area.
Okay.
Measurement. Okay. So what they will do in RFP, they'll say that, for example, there are around 7 stores are there in the particular area for 30 in 30 square in 30 acres. Measurement. Okay. They have some seven stores are there.
Okay.
What they will do, they'll define all that 7 stores location, and they will clearly say that we need a camera here, we need a camera here, we need a camera like that. They'll define everything because they want this. They look from the security point of view, right?
Yes.
And then what they will do, they'll approach their concerned IT support team, and they'll say that, okay, what is your thing? Means they said this is what our monitoring part is required. I want to have a track of all these things. Then their IT company, IT wing will define that, okay, you can go with any one of these 10 companies. Say, for example, Matrix. Say, for example, what you call CP Plus, or you take so, for example, Focuseye, like that many companies, and they'll clearly mention, don't go with any Chinese company like Hikvision. They'll mention these are the companies are not allowed. So those inputs, who is going to give? These guys.
A client and a client in this case means they would restrict some kind of an companies
and
to not to
recommend
participate in the pre-bidding process.
Yes.
And they will recommend also.
And they'll invite all the players in the market. So here the Matrix guy will be coming, the Hikvision guy will be coming, even the CP Plus guy will be coming, even the Focus guy will be coming, Godrej guy will be coming. All the players who are in the market, who are in surveillance solutions, that come here. And they will try to defend their product. First of all, they'll understand what exactly these guys are required. For example, they say that I want to track all the vehicles who are passing in my road. That means they want to capture the particular register, what you call the vehicle numbers. So when you want to capture the vehicle number, an ordinary camera is not suited. You need to go with a captured vehicle. Some cameras will be different. If suppose the camera which you are going to 4 MP camera, it can capture the human movement. But that camera cost maybe something around 10,000. But when you go to capturing the vehicle number, that camera costs around 40,000 to 50,000. There's a variation. Very clear. So they need to understand which type of cameras you want. Do you want the movement, or do you want some sort of a motion also? Motion means what? Movement. Okay. And if they want something like, they want to understand the tracking of the particular vehicle also, then the cameras will be different. Got it?
Yes.
So all such clarifications will be clarified in the pre-bid meeting. Because since I am a technical guy, I am looking from the point of implementation. So today they ask the camera means if I bid for 4 MP camera, tomorrow after implemented and I will get a project, after implemented, the concerned security officer will come and say that, oh, I want, okay, I am happy with your project, but show me how can I capture this particular vehicle entered in gate 1 and moving to gate 3. I want to know which vehicle went in gate 1 and when it came to gate 3. How can I recognize that? I have to catch the vehicle number, right?
Yes.
That means the camera he is asking is totally different. And what is the project now? Failure.
Yes.
Clear? Hope all of you understood. What about the other team members? Have you understood this?
Sridhar,
Yes,
just a quick
yes,
question.
Yes, sir. Next slide, please.
Yeah, we understand.
Okay. Okay. Done. If
Hello.
anything, we will clarify after the session. Okay. Yes, tell me, last question.
Yeah. No, actually, I just want to know, like, where does this business analyst person stand over here, like, in this entire role?
Okay. Okay. Then finally, I'll answer that one also. If, see, there are some clauses are there. What is that clause is? If we are giving the inputs to the client for their RFP, okay, and if you have expertise in that, then we will be involved in providing the information. Clear?
Okay.
Understand?
Yes.
Whether you may be having a personal rapport or you may be representing your company. Then, provided you have that expertise, then only you can be part of this RFP.
Sridhar, one last question on this. Is it billable?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Okay.
Sridhar, normally the inside sales team or the sales or the business development people are there, like, who takes care of all this proposal.
Yes, yes, you'll be there. You'll be there.
But what does a business analyst person do in this?
No, for example, if you are going to, if you want to get this particular project and thing, a business analyst guy can make sure that manage this particular project to come into in our own lines. See, suppose my company is invited to come prepare the RFI. What I will do, I have a chance that where my product can be given a highest importance, right?
Okay.
Followed. So instead, for example, the same surveillance system, instead of 10 cameras can be produced in 10 companies, I can recommend some 6 which are all favored to me, right?
Okay.
Okay. Followed. So if I want to make that type of thing also, a BDM guy can't present that because he is not aware of what his team can do, right?
Okay.
But a BA guy can have that knowledge also. He can drive the show in such a way that some benefit can be done to the solution, both for the client as well as the favor of our company, right?
Okay.
Because he can give a better solution than a BDM guy. Because what is the role of a BDM guy? Only thing is he can recommend to some extent only. He cannot talk about what his team can do, right?
Okay.
You understand? Okay. Any further questions? I'll ask you, I'll give you time in the last after finishing my session, right? Is it okay?
Sure.
Okay. Now, the next, with this discussion, let us look into some of the thumb rules of a BA. What is a rule? What is a rule?
Something which
Something to be followed, right?
something which needs to be mandatorily followed.
Mandatory.
Protocols.
Protocol. But
Set of
can
guidelines.
we, can we break a rule?
No.
No, your office timing is 9 a.m. You are going all the day 9 a.m. or sometimes you may go with 9:05.
Yeah, we usually break rules sometimes.
We are taking some exceptions and sometimes it
Yes, depends on requirements.
That means rules can have exceptions. Rules can have an exceptions, right? But thumb rule is not like that. Thumb rule has to be followed 100%. Like that, as a BA, listen first. We have certain thumb rules. The first and most thumb rule is always solve our client problem only by our IT solution. You mean that we are working with a particular client and our project is going on and we have a very good trust with the client and the client is very much happy with us and the project is going in smooth. If suppose in a particular period of time, the client is looking for some other requirement, then immediately who comes in this thought process as a BA or as the team, we come into this process. Then he may put the requirement before us. Yes, Mr. Abhishek, I want to have this IT solution, have a solution for this. Can you just look into this? Then what we do, we will look into the skill set of this particular requirement. Is it mapping to our skill set or not? If it is mapping, we'll give a solution to them. Or if it is not mapping, then we may take it forward to our team and say that, can we address this? If you are not addressing, if you are not at all in that particular stream, that what is the option? If I say no to the client, no, client, I'm not able to, we are not in this particular stream, means what he will do? He will search for some other player in the market and get the things done, right? That means my client is moving out of my point, right? He's moving out. He's moving out of my business, right? So, but what is our objective? We should hold the client to the maximum extent. We should hold the client to the maximum extent. So for that, what we can have an option. If I am not having that particular expertise with me, then can I do something what the client do if I say no? If I do the same thing from my end and find a player in the market, let the player come and do the work on behalf of us to the client. Then the client will be with us for next project also, right?
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing. That means the outsourcing party will be working for us and give the solution to the client requirement. If we should look in this particular perspective. Then you may have a doubt. If our company is not encouraging means that is a secondary. But our thought process and our motto should be how try to hold the client as much as you can.
Should the client be told about this? Or
Yeah,
should
we
be
have.
confidential?
It's a transparent. Okay. We are going to with that part only. Okay. With every IT, whatever the work we are doing, it should be transparent. That's for sure. Otherwise, we will be in trouble. Okay.
One question here, Sridhar.
Yeah.
Let's say if we outsource that, let's say if we try to hold the client and if we, to provide solutions to the client, we outsource that particular thing to another, organization, third party who can actually provide that solution. So here, even we are the mediator. Let's say we are the mediator, but unfortunately, because we don't have that particular solution to provide to the client, we are outsourcing that to the other client. So we are also we are also getting from services from the third party. I think I got my answer. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Now the second thumb rule is be like a lotus in the mud. Be like a lotus in the mud means just look at where the lotus is available in the muddy water, right? Where in the mud water. If you plug one lotus, do you find mud particles on the lotus? Have you anyone tried? No.
No.
Even though you're picking up from the muddy water, you will not find a mud on the lotus. That's how a PA should be in terms of capturing the information. The reason is when you're going to probe the requirement in various sources, that means we are going to capture the input from various sources and we are going to get the inputs in different ways. It is the responsibility of the business analyst to take the correct input where he has to work in the means of what? Elaborate the solutions. I have discussed in yesterday's morning one slide. So we need to elaborate the outcomes of the particular requirement, right? So in that way, we need to come out of it. And whatever we have selected, yes, this is what my requirement for the so-and-so outcome. That means that is final. Even though you captured things from various sources, it is your own. Now, tomorrow, if the requirement is going to be success or misfire, who has to take the ownership? We. Very clear. For example, to understand in simple, you have moved to a new city. As I said yesterday, the same thing. When one of your friends say that this is a good school for your kid, and you ask another person, they have said some other school is a good school. Then finally, after capturing that, you got around 6 schools. Finally, who's responsible to select a school? You. So when you select a school means that means tomorrow the kid is going to whatever the education is going to provide to the kid, it is a good or bad. Whose responsibility? Your responsibility. So you should be like a lotus in the mud. You pick the best in order to meet your requirement. That means what is called as ownership of the requirements. Clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, if here any, as you said that a client has a problem, we are hiring a third party. The cost also be given by the client or additional
No,
cost?
no. We see, for
The
example,
cost will be provided by the third party.
by the third party. Third party may say that I'm going to give you per man hour $70 to us. Then we are going to put before the client and negotiate the client for around $110 or $100 like that. Got it? Because
Okay.
client is going to pay us and we pay the third party. It's like a consultancy kind of thing, right? When you go through a job to a consultancy, is the consultant is going to give you the full pay? No, right?
No.
Similar kind. Okay. Next. The thing is, never take tensions, but pass on the tensions. Another important thumb rule of a BA. Never take tensions, but pass on the tensions means, as a business analyst, we are going to be part of more than one module. Whereas one module is currently running, another module is already delivered, but it is under maintenance, a kind of thing. If some issue was raised in one of the module, then as a PA, don't forget that we are facilitators. Is it the issue is because of us or by the team members? Whose? It is from the team member, right? So what is our responsibility? Whenever an issue was raised, you don't take it as attention. Your job is what? Identify the right team who is responsible for the particular issue and transfer that particular attention to the concerned team where the team will be working on it. If you take it too hard, it will affect the other module, right? So never take tension, but pass on the tension means just pass on the current, whatever the issue it is, to the right team. And that team will be working and make sure that the team is delivered in time. This is what the third one. And don't be a hurry in requirements capturing. Okay, if you are hurry in capturing the requirements, definitely it will kill your project. Your project will be killed. Why you may say that? Why I should be hurry? I will be in a aram say I'll be going like that. But situation will be something different. You'll be getting pressure. But when you're capturing the requirements, you should be very clear in understanding the requirement. So always be clear and be specific about your requirement. See, some people yesterday when I asked you about the stakeholders, they are given all the stakeholders. But what I want the stakeholders to be addressed specifically who are the project, who are business, who are third party, who are negative, right? If I list out all as a group, then the other person may misunderstand, right? So we should be very specific in understanding the requirement. Otherwise, it is going to affect the project. Clear? Yeah, what's Siraj?
Yes.
Okay. Next. The fifth and thing is, we are going to, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Please elaborate this again.
Which one?
The fourth option.
Requirements are hurried means when you are understanding a requirement, unless until you're very clear with the requirement, don't go to the next step. For example, let me say that one of the requirements is you are addressing a particular client for the payment part. And they say that there is a payment part is a currency. So you're sitting in India and you are talking about the currency. What comes into your mind? Rupee. Right. If you start working on the rupee, if suppose the client tomorrow is want to use it in some US, if the application is not showcasing the dollar there, is it a project success or failure?
Failure.
Failure, right? So when I'm looking at the means of a currency, first I have to probe the client that in which global condition, in which part of the global you are using this particular payment part, right? Then he will say that no, my product is going to be used in India, or in US, and in UK, and in Australia, and in Singapore. Like that, if I say that all the client is going to say all these particular locations, then I have a chance to address all those particular currencies in my payment part. Then the project will be success, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got it.
Yes, sir.
So don't be in a hurry in caption. Be very clear about your requirement. Next, never criticize any stakeholder, because we are working with a team of people, one from the client team, other from our project team, and we are like a facilitators. See, when we are working as a team, there may be some situations, some cases where the stakeholders may not be alert. Because, for example, every day we have a meeting. There's a 5 minute stand-up meeting is there. And the stand-up meeting, every stakeholder should be there. For example, as per the IT team is concerned. If one of the team member is coming late, that means the whole team is waiting for him, right? And he's doing in a regular basis. Then if I throw some word, can I get support from him in the future?
No.
So first, what we need to do, we need to understand first that why this team member is late. Try to understand from his point of view, and see that this guy has some sort of a something to be addressed, or if he's doing purposeful. If something is there to address, just try to address that. Otherwise, if you find that this guy is purposefully doing, then we can take up a call and recommend the project manager to remove that resource from the team. Because ultimately it is affecting our operations, right?
Yes.
But don't throw your words. And before you're going to take the final call, you can even try to motivate them to be involved in the project. So what we need to do, they may be sometimes doing some good things. Okay, may not be that much good thing, but still they did something good. Try to appreciate for small efforts also. That may create interest in the project, right? So try to appreciate them, but don't lose your any sort of a word, or don't criticize them at anything, because our strength is our stakeholders. Clear? So these are the 5 thumb rules where we need to follow, and we need to follow what? 100%. No excuses. All of you clear with these 5 thumb rules?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we have some do's and don'ts, which are mapping to these thumb rules. Never say no to the client. Okay, try to address the client requirement. The client may be asking you something. Okay, don't say no. At the same time, sometimes we can't say yes also. In such cases, we need to negotiate. We need to put our approach there. But don't say no straightly. If you say no, he'll move out, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Next. Okay. Then there is no word called as by default. Can anyone define by default? Anyone raise your hand and tell me. Can anyone define by
Automatic.
By default, it means no, it's always wrong.
It's an automatic.
Sir, it is no option for that.
No option.
Yeah,
See,
without skipping anything.
Moreover, it could be by mistake.
Sir, it's already pre-decided.
By mistake could be the term
yes.
which we can use.
See, for example, person A is there. Okay. Person B is there. Person A is the one who is requesting something to person B, right? Got my point?
Yep.
If person B say that he has something, he says by default you get it. Then how the person A will look into the by default, he looks in some other means and person B looks in some other means, right? Say for example, why should I go to person A and person B? You and the COPD guys, the one who make you a call in the beginning and ask you to join this course, if one of the COPD person has just told you that if you learn the course by default, you'll get a job.
It's something like as a standard.
Correct. If he says that if you join the course, if you do the course, you'll get a job. From your student perspective, the student may think that, if I take this sessions, the next day I will be in the job, right? He may think in that perspective. What this COPD guy can look in, You have to take the profile training, you have to do the project training, and then you have to take the mock-ups, you have to prepare your resume, then we'll put before your interview, you have to clarify your interview, then you will get a job. Is it a difference in your understanding?
Yeah.
Got it? So here, the whatever the word by default is not specific. Don't ever encourage the word by default. Mostly it will come from the client point of view. They say that by default, I want this. Whenever you come across a by default word, hold on there, request the client that what is your meaning in the, what is your perspective of by default? Then he will tell step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. That is very important. Got it? All of you clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So be specific, right? Next. Never imagine anything in terms of graphical user interface. See, people will be saying that I want this, and this should be my home page. Here, the animation should come like this, and that should come like this, blah, blah, blah. For example, let me take the IRCTC website. The railways guys who are working on this particular thing, they said that my reservations page should have the trains should run. They should showcase the flying of the running of the trains should be there, and passengers should move. All this should be captured in my home page, in my IRCT page. Is a graphical user interface, right? In the top panel, they have to have all these running actions. Then, if I agree for that, and if I address the IRCT page, that is going to impact what? During a Tatkal time. Because during a Tatkal time, you know how many, what is the pressure on the server? All will be hitting at the same time, right? Yeah. During the particular time, if these animations are there, will that work out? The server will be, sometimes it's crash. Okay. So you should look into the graphical user. Don't think about that. Look about the technology. Look about your skill set. Look about your team, whether can we address that or not. Then we need to put a clause. Okay, we were going to look at the animations and all, but during the Tatkal time, no animations are encouraged. Just it should be run a simple HTML page. Then only the particular application will run smoothly. But don't simply go with it. Are you clear?
Yep.
Yes. Then question the existence of existence. Question the existence of existence. When you are probing the requirement, until or unless you understood what exactly the requirement is, don't go to the next step. You guys are ready for the RFP, RFI like that only, right? Why I took that much of time? Because I want to give a clarity. Unless until you understood, you should not go to the next page. Question the existence of existence means what? Once I said something, you raise a question. I will give some answer. What you guys did, you connected with your point of understanding. Then you're not still clear. Then you raise one more question. Then I gave another answer. Like this, we keep questioning and giving answering. This is what we called as 5 why method. What do you call it as? 5 why. Why means why. 5 why method means it's a proven methodology. If you start looking into any requirement, if you raise 5 questions and you get the answer, means in 5 questions you can get the answer. It is proven theory. Got it? See, in your kids, when they're in the learning mode of understanding our language and all, what they will do, if you say something, they'll ask you why or kyun, and you'll give some other answer. Again, they'll ask you why. Why they're raising that question? Because they're trying to understand what you're saying, right? Similarly, we need to question the existence of existence in order to understand the query. Someone has started the video. Please off the video. Okay. Next. Consult.
That is your video.
My video. No. Is it my videos on?
That
Name is coming as Sridhar Rao.
Yeah, it is off only, right?
No, some Ravi is there.
Okay. So please, Ravi, look into that. Because it disturbs the whole screen. Is it displaying for all?
No, not for
Okay, okay, thank you. And consult an SME for clarifications in requirements. See, suppose you are in a stage where you are unable to understand that, then we can approach a subject matter expert and try to understand the requirement. See, the SME could be from the domain perspective or from the technological perspective.
What is SME?
Subject matter expert. Okay. A subject matter expert means who is having a expertise in the particular area. We call it as a subject matter expert. There are two types of SMEs will be there. One is from the domain perspective. For example, you are working with a banking functional part, and you want to understand about the functionality of the banking, say for example, credit or something like that. Then we will approach a domain SME. See, and if you take the technological point of view and you are going to in the means of implementation, then you will go for a implementation SME. That is a technological guy who is going to address about the software, the applications that are all these things. Are you clear? So here we have a chance to interact with the subject matter expert to understand the process. So this is what one of our selling point as a business analyst. You may not be having all the domains, but we can do in all projects. See, I have just spoken to you regarding surveillance system, right? Why? How can I speak about that? I did the works. I involved in the particular works because I gave solutions for the defense people for their surveillance solutions end to end. Then with whom I worked? I worked with an IT guys. Means where all the I work with the matrix guys. Okay, matrix is one of the matrix cameras. Heard about it?
No.
Matrix cameras are the government authorized cameras. It's a government cameras. Okay, those cameras are going to be used by all the different sectors. Most of the government sectors are going to use the matrix cameras. So since I work with them, I have that knowledge. What is my way of involvement in that particular thing? In the framing of the application. So when you are looking about the total thing, because they are going to have a solution with respect to what? All the boundary, the total boundary, what we call the perimeter. Perimeter is to be monitored, and they need to capture each and every, whether it is a particular person is hit a particular hole or something entering into the store. All this has to be captured with photographs and so we call it perimeter solution. For that, as a BA, as a consultant, what I given is how the architecture should be, what is the inputs they require, and we along with the solution architect work together and give the solution. This is what one of the very clear followed. So we are going to learn this by experience. So we are going to based on what the BA framework. Once they are strong in the BA framework, we can work on any domain. We can work on any domain. So we are not domain specific. We can work in any domain. Are you clear, all of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, coach.
you can take a snapshot of this.
It's never
Come again?
never imagine anything in the terms of GUI. What is the meaning of GUI?
Graphical user interface. Graphical user interface means what? In kind of animations, in kind of something, right? See, for example, you guys are planning to take a short film. Okay. And if you want to take a film like Bahubali, is it possible?
No.
So what is required? When the concerned director is taking Bahubali, why can't we take it? Even I am a director. But what is required is reality, technology, right? Do I have the technology? Do my team has the technology? Do I have that skill set? We have to take care of that. Are you clear? So don't imagine with that in terms of graphical user interface. Look at what is your strength, where you stand. You means here your team. Clear?
Yes, hi, Sridhar, can you explain fourth point, question the existence of existence?
Means understanding the requirement. Now, why you ask me this question? Because you have some clarity. You need to have some more clarity, right? I gave one answer. Again, you want to have more clarity. Again, you ask me another answer. So if I say that existence means, I said what is that? Let me say that I said that you for the what do you call, never imagine anything in terms of UI. I said that take an example of Bahubali, right? Did you understand that meaning why I quoted that? No, who asked me this question? Existence of existence.
Saurabh.
Saurabh.
Yes.
Do you understand why I quoted that example, Bahubali example? Because if I want to shoot a short film like the means of a Bahubali, my answer is don't look into that. Why? Because the technology, whatever used there, need an expertise, right?
Right.
Then do I have that experience? Means my team has that experience.
No.
I have to look at. See, don't say yes or no, but I have to check those things, right? Then you may ask me that next question: what expertise you need? Okay. Then you say that this technology is required. Then what may question next you ask that is the technology available in our geographical location? That means for an answer, I'm asking another question. I gave one answer, you asked me another question. This is what has questioned the existence of existence. Clear?
Okay, understood.
Sir, can this line be said in such a way that question the existence of existence as a question the requirement of requirement?
Yeah, that's it, the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. Means
Okay.
you are asking for a requirement.
Sir, yes, means this is a kind of a thing where we are probing the need of a
probing.
requirement in this
Correct.
case.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nothing a probing. It's a kind of a probing, right?
Okay, sir.
Have you taken the snapshots?
Yes.
Yes,
okay. Next. And the competency skills what we need to have. The competency skills what we need to have is one is a conflict management. This I'm going to address you in the next session with a example, right? But what is a conflict? If some conflict was raised between the client team and our team, there we need to set up an approach in order to solve the particular conflict. Here, and that I'll going to give you an example. So hold on that. Then business communication. In a business communication means the very important is the business communication. One of the things we follow is the 3R concept. What is this 3R concept means? If suppose there is an issue is to be communicated to the client. Understand? There is an issue is there. We need to communicate to the client. So here, before communicating it to the client, what is the best way to communicate? We need to look into that point. Means how could you deliver? Means you can deliver the exact message to the client so that he should understand. Make sure that he should understand the issue and the impact. That is what is to be addressed. You understand? There is an issue, right? Issue is there, which I need to communicate to the client. Then how I should look into? I have to look into the best way. What is the best way in order to what? I have to communicate the same message as it is to the client so that he should understood what exactly the issue is and the impact is and should address that. So what I have to do, first I need to understand what exactly the issue is. Before I communicate, first I means here as a PA. I need to understand what exactly the issue is before communicating to the client. And then see the possibilities. See the possibilities, how to address that. To understand that, let us have interaction with all the stakeholders who are all concerned to that. Means who are all impacted on that. Okay, so I need to do some sort of a technique, elucidation technique, and try to understand who are all going to be impacted on that. Maybe I use some kind of a brainstorming session to understand the impact. And I will find out the options, alternatives and all. And is there any root cause is there? So I will find out the root cause also. Then I will going to communicate that. That means the 3R means the right message at the right time in the right condition. Right message at the right time in the right condition. This is the way I need to communicate. You understand the 3R concept?
Right message in the right time.
Right message at the right time in the right condition. What is the objective of this? We should communicate as it is to the client and he should accept. Because when it is an issue, we can't do anything, right? It has to be communicated so that I can look for an option, other options, right?
Can you repeat right message right time?
Right message at the right time in the right condition. Right message at the right time in the right condition. That is called 3R concept. And this is how we are going to communicate that. Along with this, we are going to look at the other types of communications. What is the means? These are communications, verbal or non-verbal. Verbal is what we do. Non-verbal is, what do you mean by non-verbal?
Written.
Means
Body language.
Gestures, right? Gestures, right?
Documentation.
Apart from verbal.
Apart from verbal is a non-verbal. Say, expressive is more important, right? If you say the client, I'm going to do this and all, if he's not completely satisfied, but because of some reason, he will say that, okay. Okay, if you are going to take it as a requirement from the oral, means from the like online, is it going to affect the reality? Because when the face feelings, if I'm able to see, is this guy's telling okay 100% or partial? There is a difference in the requirement, right? You understand non-verbal? The expression. Your voice is breaking. Are you clear non-verbal? So here, as a business analyst, when you are going to capture a requirement, especially from the client point of view and all, go in a person or go with a video call. Don't confirm any requirement through a voicemail or voice call. Got it?
To understand the face because face expressions says a lot of things.
There is a lot of difference will be there. A simple with off knowledge, we can say okay. Some expressions will be different.
True.
Okay, so which is very, very important. We as a business analyst, when you're going to capture some information and it is going to play a major role, be face to face. Even though you're sitting across the globe, go with a video call. Don't go with a voice call. Don't take anything confirmation with a voice call. Or you can have a verbal, means a mail, a document which is to be written from the client on his and he has to receive from his mail ID. You got my point? These are very, very important.
This is better to capture a more like minutes of the meeting.
Yeah. Come again?
Minutes of the meeting.
Yes, correct.